Hi everybody, welcome to my beauty salon before I go off to the Ritz to meet you all. And I thought today I'd do a perfect summer makeup. So I'm going to do almost start to finish my whole look, and I hope you enjoy it because I'm going to show you what I do when it's summertime. I always think summertime is an interesting time for makeup. When it's really hot, perhaps you don't feel like putting very much makeup on. So I think a lighter look, something fresher and prettier. And also because summer light, if it's very sunny, isn't very forgiving, then again, if you have a lighter touch rather than a heavier touch, then it looks better. In the winter time, we can get away with a lot more. And I've got a theory that if you were born in the winter, I was born on Christmas Day, you actually prefer everything about that season. And I certainly do. I actually quite like winter clothes, and I quite like the makeup that I can do in the winter time when you've got softer light, especially if you go out in the evening. And of course, candlelight is the most flattering of all. So contrast candlelight with, bright sunshine, and you can see that there are some challenges about getting your summer makeup right. Now I've started with a bit of preparation, not much. I've done my eyebrows with the grey brow shape. I've also put on my Never Feather lip prime, ready for my lipstick later. And I've also put on my Smooth Out eye prime, ready for my eye makeup later. And I'm going to start, I've also put on my face primer, which has gone on top of my moisturiser and serum. So I'm all prepped and good to go. So now it's a question of choosing the right products which are going to look good for this summertime. So I'm going to wear Light Look Beauty Balm instead of my usual foundation. Now my skin's in great condition at the moment. I can't believe how good it is. You know that I've had a struggle with acne rosacea, which I've talked about, but I've got no lumps and bumps and spots at the moment, which is incredible. So I can take the Light Look Beauty Balm, and I think it's going to be fine. This is a change from me because I have been using the Base 02, but I'm now going to switch to Light Look Beauty Balm. It's on offer at the moment. We've got a half price offer on it, so if you want to try it, it's a good time. Now, colour-wise, I'm just going to show you three. I'm going to use this one. This is going to be fine on my skin. In fact, when I put it on, it actually does look quite dark, but because you put it on quite thinly, you'll see that it works perfectly well. Now, if you've got a decided tan, you've been out in the garden quite a lot, and your skin is definitely darker than mine is, then the 2 is probably going to work for you. And if you've got, very definitely, you've got the sort of skin that always looks slightly tanned, or you're mixed race, in fact. I've done a very successful makeup on somebody who is mixed race with the 3. So they're the kind of colours that you're looking at, but I'm going to use the 1. The other thing about these are airless pumps, and what you have to do, so this is a tip for you, if you've got one of these, is make sure that you get the air out first, otherwise you can't get the product out very smoothly. So you just take the top off like that and you squeeze it up very gently until you can see the product appearing at the top, and you just screw it back on again. That gets rid of all the air and you'll find that it comes out very easily. We're actually changing to tubes, you might be pleased to hear. And hopefully the tubes will be less problematic than the airless pumps have been. So, but again, it's quite liquidy, so it's not as thick in texture as the Base 02. It's quite liquidy, so don't, be careful, don't get it on your clothes. So obviously I'm going to use the brush, and I'm going to just start the usual thing of working this into my skin. And you can see that it's a lovely product to apply. It really is. It's absolutely beautiful. So it goes on very, very easily. I did a little try out of this makeup yesterday, a sort of slight rehearsal. I don't always do that, in fact, but I thought I would because I wanted to just see how the Beauty Balm performed on my skin, given that I've been using Base 02 all the way through lockdown, really. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I'm actually going to put a tad more on just so that I get the right consistency. So maybe 3 squirts of that is appropriate. So a little bit more to the centre of my face. Remember that the centre of your face is where people are looking, and it should sort of smooth away to the outer edges and kind of disappear, make up. You don't want any nasty hairline excess or jawline excess. So there we go. I think that's enough. Let me just check in my mirror. And now I'm just going to use, as I usually do, the warmth of my fingers just to make sure that that is all combined into my skin and as smooth as I can make it. I think that's fine. So have a look at that and see what you think. I think that's done quite a nice job. It's not as covering as our normal continuous cover foundation, but certainly for the summertime, I think it's actually is a very, very lovely light look. But I'm going to give it a bit of support, and I'm going to do that with concealer. So I always use concealer after I've finished using applying my base, and I'm going to do the same with the Light Look Beauty Balm, because I think if I put some concealer on in those places where I think I do need a bit of extra help, it's going to make a big difference. I'm going to use Conceal 02. I'm using Beauty Balm 01, but Conceal 02. And I would say if you normally use base 02 and you want to try the Beauty Balm, go for the 01. If you usually use 03, go for 02. Gosh, it's confusing, isn't it? Sorry about that. And if you use 3.5, then, you know, the darkest of our base, then you probably do need to go up to the 3 in the Beauty Balm. But the 02 base, which I would say suits 80% of the skins that I sort of do makeovers on anyway, it's what I think of as our standard colour, the one that's going to suit most women. And then you either go down from that or up from that. So you're either paler than that, so you need something much softer, or you need something stronger, because your skin is darker than average, as opposed to what I would say is average, which is where the 02 comes in. So you can see where I've put that. So I feel that with the concealer, I need some extra help in the corners here, because those corners tend to be quite bluey. I need a little bit around my jaw, and I've actually forgotten to do, where is it? Here it is. I've forgotten to do the discoloration of my age spots, so I'll just go back and do that now. There we go. So remember, with concealer, what you do after that is just press it into the skin using the warmth of your fingers, because it's a creamy texture and it's not drying. Then just pressing it in with the warmth of your fingers is the way to make sure that it's properly combined in the skin. Just check in the mirror that I've got enough side here. So what you're doing with concealer, you're just giving a little bit more support to the base, Beauty Balm base, and allowing some more coverage where you might need it. And then to set that, I'm going to go for my my translucent powder and a brush, and I'm just going to brush that, dot it with translucent powder, all those places where I put the concealer. There we go. So I think that's really nice. And that is it really. That's it for my base. In the sense of I've now got the canvas ready to put anything else that I want to put on top. I'm not going to use my highlighter pen. I would use my highlighter pen just for time's sake. I'm going to keep this a very simple makeup, so I'm not going to do use the highlighter pen. But I am going to put some blusher on because I do think blusher is essential, and I'm going to do that as I would normally do it, using a brush and I'm actually going to use the peach cream, and I'm just going to do my usual trick of down from the eye, centre of the eye, and then onto my cheeks. So again, this is quite quick and simple to do. You might think that it takes me this long to do my own makeup when I do it, but it doesn't. It takes me much longer to do these videos because I'm talking and I'm not just zipping through. So I'll try and do it as quickly as I can, but at the same time, it does take me a bit longer. Okay, so that's my blusher done. So now I'm going to come to eye makeup, and I'm going to use the Soft Neutrals palette. So I'm going to keep the eye makeup extremely simple and pretty. So this is cream and rose gold and taupe. So I'm not going to use any dark colours on my eyes. I'm just going to keep them very, very simple. So starting with the cream, I'm going to put that all over my lid and up a bit, so like that. The thing about this cream is, don't be afraid, you almost can't put too much on, you really can't. So there we go. I'm just going to get this on top of my eye primer. And liberally apply it over that whole area there. Okay, it's a lovely base colour. It's extremely easy to apply, and remember, you're using light colours bring forward, dark colours recede. And now, again, an extremely pretty colour is the rose gold, and I'm just going to use this. I'll get in as close as I possibly can so you can see it, otherwise you really won't be able to see it. I'm going to just use this lovely pale pinky rose colour just out on this outer edge. Now, Soft Neutrals is our palette for people who often don't know whether they're cool toned or warm toned. So the idea is it suits everybody. So if you're warm toned or cool toned, then this Soft Neutral palette will be perfect for you. So I've got the rose gold. Can you see where I've put it? I've just put it sort of on this outer edge and up a bit. Not to create any shading as such, because I'm not doing any shading as such, but just to add some prettiness, some light summer pretty colour. I'm actually going to go to town on my lips for this makeup look. I'm going to wear a really, really strong, vibrant lip colour. So I'm not going quite so dark or quite so dramatic on the eyes. And my final colour in my palette is taupe. And I'm going to use the taupe along my lash line. So again, this is not going to be very dramatic. It's going to be very subtle, and I'm going to use my wedge brush, and I'm just going to push this colour, taupe, down onto my lash line like this. Remember, you just rest the brush against your lashes. Now, don't worry too much about being very precise with this, because it isn't very dark. You almost can't get it wrong. You honestly can't. And you can just see how I'm putting the wedge brush on its side. So I'm not just doing the edge, I'm actually doing it on its side so that I can get enough colour on there just to make that lash line definition. But I'm going to use the mascara in some ways more than I am using that, say, the dark lash line, because this is actually not very dark. But I've done that on purpose. I experimented with this yesterday just to make sure it looked nice, and I loved it. It was a really pretty look. So you see, I also experiment from time to time so that I can show you different ways of doing things. So just keep rubbing that colour on. You can wet these shadows if you want to as well, and you then get a slightly more dramatic effect with the wet. Just getting rid of the speckles that come down, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that underneath as well. There we go. Come in. I hope you can see that. It's definitely made a difference. And those three colours together, I really love them. And now I'm going to put on my mascara. And obviously mascara immediately is giving you a bit more drama and definition. So wiggle, wiggle up, wiggle, wiggle up. By the way, people always tell me off if I push the mascara brush in and out. Apparently it puts air in and it's not good for it. So I get slapped over the wrist by people who tell me I'm doing it all wrong. So apologies for that. So you're supposed to just put it straight in like that, not go backwards and forwards. Naughty Tricia. Right, here we go. Down onto the bottom lashes. You could curl your lashes first if you want to. Got some nice eyelash curlers like ours. And again, let me just check in my mirror here, make sure I'm doing it right. Oh, there you go. Look what I've just done. Don't panic, because when you've done your mascara, just get this little Q-tip here and just get rid of that. It's quite a good idea when you've put your mascara on to go into a magnifying mirror and just tidy it up, just see if there are any things underneath there that need to be sorted. I think that's done. Let me just double check, yeah, we're okay here. So there are my eyes done. Really light, soft, pretty, summery, and a combination of cream, rose gold and taupe on my eyes to create this really, really soft and pretty effect. I'd already done my brows with the grey brow shape, and I'd already put on my lip primer. So now I'm going to really ramp up the lips with fuchsia. I'm actually wearing fuchsia trousers today, and this white linen top from Hope Fashion, which is really nice. And so I'm going to lift my whole look with the fuchsia lipstick. And to match, I've got these really pretty earrings that came yesterday. Naturally, they're Tulali. I do hope you enjoyed the chat that I had with Mags of Tulali the other day on Tuesday. You weren't actually in the Zoom meeting. There is the video of it, so I hope you enjoy that. She was such a brilliant person to talk to. She's absolutely lovely. And we had such a nice time chatting. So earrings on, and do you know what, I think I'm just going to finish, just thought of this, with a little touch of bronzer. So this is a lovely thing to put on, and you do it right at the last minute, sort of check yourself out think, could I do with a little bit of bronzer? So I put a big fat brush, swirl it over the bronzer, and then just lightly touch your face with bronzer wherever it would kiss your skin. If you can't have Aidan Turner kiss your skin, you have some bronzer. Yeah, I think that's lovely. So all done, good to go. And I'm going to pop my my sun hat on. And I'm off out. Maybe pop my sunglasses on. Will I do? Okay. I do hope you enjoyed that and found it fun. And I look forward to seeing you next time when we'll be back at the Ritz together for a lovely cup of tea. Have a great weekend, everybody. And I'll see you on Tuesday for a normal Tea Time at the Ritz video. Okay, see you Tuesday. Bye-bye.